Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is your favorite Dreamweaver. Have you ever felt lost, confused, overwhelmed by situation around you and you don't know what your true purpose is or what's the right thing to do? So today we're gonna deep dive into that. And that first, let's understand what is Dharma. Dharma is your true purpose. What the Dharma means. Does not mean religion. Dharma means doing right, your duty, and living in alignment with your true nature. That's our Dharma. And everyone is born with Dharma. And we all get lost. I have been also lost. Till now, I have been trying to walk. I'm trying as much as I can. I'm trying to walk with Dharma, with my Dharma. And Dharma is not about what you do, it's about how aligned you are when you do things. It should come from inner truth and your soul values. Even though when world seems chaotic around you and very unfair, and that's out of your control. Yes, you cannot control it. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna himself told Arjuna about Dharma on a battlefield. The war is not just outside. A war is inside. And to win that outside, you need to win inside first. What does it mean? You have to choose fear over courage. You will be ready to disappoint others while honoring your own path. And honestly, I have fought that war too. Not like Kurukshetra, like normal today's scenario. So that's what Dharma is. Today, a battlefield that I fought, that's my karmic battlefield. It's my personal experience. So there was time I was working in a really, really toxic environment, toxic organization, I have to say that, where people were there. Growth they meant is by tearing others down. Yeah, pointing what others are doing. They were not focused on themselves, by improving themselves, gaining some skills, gaining some qualities to reach the next level. But they were mostly focused on what others are doing, what other projects are happening, who is doing what. And it was very new thing for me. Before I go in this story, let me tell you something. When I started my career, which was late 2013, so I met a very wonderful mentor, and it was my first day or second of joining, and luckily I got assigned to his team. And the first thing what he told me, and that has stayed with me till now, is, as soon as you step in the company premises, you forget there is any I, me and myself concept. We work here as a team, and if we are successful, that's our success, it's not my success. And if you have failed, that failure is also ours. And finding such mentor in the early stage of your life is something that, building your foundation really, really strong. So I had this foundation, really strong foundation, where growth meant working with each other, uplifting each other, where growth meant is working on yourself, working on your skill set, working on learning something new, but not putting others down. No, that was strict no in my first company where I started my career. And gladly I found that manager. He has been a mentor to me, and from there I moved to next other organization. By God grace, I have been always very good team where most of the people, they had this kind of mentality. It's not that I'm not going to say the rest of the companies, they were not having this kind of mentality where they are ready to put others down to just rise above them, and having very unhealthy competition. But yeah, so now coming back to my toxic workplace. Is oh, this is so funny. Now it's funny. So they were like basically focused on gossips, they were focused on politics, blame game, they were focused on how to prove their importance and how they are solely responsible for doing others' job. There was no concept of team, there was no concept of we. It was more like, I am important and I am important, you are not important. And it was very new thing for me. And yeah, honestly, it felt very chaotic initially, but I tried to avoid it because I did not for me it's very important that I take my work as work, because I don't know how other people they perceive their life, but for me my mental well-being, my spiritual well-being, my physical well-being matters a lot to me. I just do not want to thrive in my career. I want to thrive in each and every department that I mentioned. I want to thrive in my mental well-being. I want to thrive in my spiritual well-being. I want to thrive in my physical well-being. And for that, I need to have my time and energy. So if I put all my energy in my work, which is of course the external world for me, that does not bring any that does not contribute anything in my inner world. What I mean by that is, yes, of course, work is really, really important because that's how we build the will, that's how we run our life, that's how we eat, buy things. But it's not my entire world. My life doesn't revolve around my work. And this understanding I had very early in my life. And yeah, so at this workplace, I was talking about the toxic workplace. They started making fun of me. It doesn't reach here. It didn't reach. Of course, it didn't reach. They were disrespecting me. Again, people, they behave. And whatever they do, their behavior is reflection of their character, not mine. I didn't feel anything. They twisted stories, created false scenarios, false narrative, everything. They tried doing it. But for me, it didn't go ahead because I am not kind of person who, I mean, basically, I'm not much interested in others, what they are doing. I'm very much interested in my own life, like what I'm doing, what I'm focusing on. And I have a lot to focus on, as I said. I really want to work on my physical well-being, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. These things are really, really equally important. As important my work is, these things are equally important for me. So for a significant amount of time, I did not give a damn about whatever was happening around me. It was chaotic, I did not give a damn. But you know, I'm a human being, and constantly if one thing starts happening, at one point, it will impact you. And just like that, it did have impact on me. And I reached a certain point in my life where, you know, constant judgment, where you are like, no, you're not working as per our standards, you're not doing this, you are not highlighting some point which is not being followed, this. I try to explain them. That's not my nature. I would not, that's how not I have learned from my seniors and mentor, that I'll prove my importance and I'll bring values to the work I do by pointing out someone's mistake. If there has been mistake, I will clearly communicate to them one-to-one. I would not highlight in a way that would, you know, like my importance get proved and the others' mistake, or maybe just, we all are humans again, so their mistakes get highlighted. So I'm not here for that. I am not going to play that game. I have this clarity. I am not playing that game. So as usual, they kept doing. But there was a certain point that reached where things got a little escalated, and somehow I got to know from one of my friend, and then honestly it didn't have a lot of impact on me, but I'm kind of person who start reflecting on themselves. Like I pause and then start reflecting. Then I paused, and then I was like, really, am I doing something wrong? And that was the time when I turned towards my spiritual guru and then my mentor, who has been, as I spoke about earlier, about my manager. And I spoke to both of them. First my mentor, then he's like, what are you saying? You're saying that you're having trouble settling somewhere. And I was like, yeah, because I've been pointed out that I do not I'm not bringing values. And then he's like, really, for you? And I said, yes. And then he's like, I'm sure there will be some misunderstanding, and I'm sure it's gonna be better because it's a new place. So with time they'll understand your working style. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it time. Then, as I said, I turned to my spiritual guru also. So people try to humiliate me. They did, because it's a matter of, like as I said, your work is something that's how you run your life, that's how you pay the rent, that's how you pay for your food, that's how you pay your bills. So without giving a lot of thought, they try to humiliate and disrespect me. They created a false narrative. They questioned my worth, they questioned my capabilities, and that moment was something I'll remember for a long time, honestly. So yeah, and then as I said, that when I turned towards my spiritual guru, and then what he mentioned was very meaningful. He was like, those who humiliates you or insult you are unknowingly helping you clear your karma. And I'm like, really, how does it work? Then he's like, see, they are helping you to clear your karmic package unknowingly, and now you have strength to go through that. Now you have the strength to go through that. But if it would have come in a different form, it would have been more harsh, that you will not be able to bear it. That's how you clear your karmic baggages. And I shared before, I am a huge believer of Mother Universe, and I have like immense level of faith in God. And I talk to him now and then, just like any friends. So that workplace became my karmic battlefield, where my resilience, my grace, my inner silence were under fire, and they were still my weapons. I didn't fight back the way they did. Instead, I chose to stand in my inner peace, inner power. And they thought they were hurting me, but spiritually, they were helping me to clear my old karmic baggages. It's a win-win. Yeah. So, and then, as I keep saying, that I consider myself God's favorite child. It's just not I just consider myself, I do believe it, that I'm universe's favorite child. And my guru once said that when you claim you're God's favorite child, he will also test you if you truly live by your values or not. That was my divine test. Whether I'm going to betray my values just to survive, whether I will bend my truth just to be accepted, just to be appreciated. But you know what I did? I didn't. I was disappointed. Yes. I had sleepless nights. Yes. I was anxious. Yes. Till the time I worked in that company, I was anxious. I used to have sleepless night constantly. There was only few days when I was on holidays. Only those were the time that I was not stressed out. But most of the time I was very, very anxious. I could not breathe. So what I did, that in divine test, I did not have much courage to understand everything. Honestly, I did not have that much understanding how should I have processed these and how should come out of the situation. But one thing that was clear to me, that my truth doesn't need to be loud. And another thing which was very clear to me, I'm not going to betray my soul. I'm not going to sell my soul just to fit in. So what is left for me now? As I said in my previous videos, my faith on my protector is so damn high that if anything happens, I just run to him. And that day it was after dinner, I just went for a walk, and then I live by sea. So I just sat down there on the beach, and then I tried to meditate, which I wasn't able to do because I was not in that good mental state that I could do it. I was really that day really disappointed and heartbroken. And I just prayed, tried to meditate still, with keeping that intent in my heart is, if I'm doing everything right, then give me the courage, give me the mental strength to walk and come out of the situation. And if I'm doing something wrong, please guide me. That prayer I did. And the same day, what I did is I called my mom and asked her, Mom, can you tell me how I have been, like, because your mom, they know you. So I asked her, do you consider that I'm not a responsible person? I do not take accountability of what I do? And mom is like, no, you always have been very responsible, even for early stages of your life. And then again I called my mentor, the one I was talking about where I started my career, and then I said, do you also think that I should change something, because things have changed and I'm in a different place? And then he's like, yes, you should change. You should be flexible enough to adapt new environment, but you should not be flexible enough to compensate and compromise on your truth, on your values that you learned in the hardest way or easiest way, whatever way you learned. You should not be compromising those values. And that's when things hit my head, that yes, they know me, they have the experience, they cannot misguide me. And then again, as I said, I always turn inwards, and then I run to God. So next day again I prayed and said, like, if I'm doing anything wrong, please show me the right path, and if I'm doing everything correct, then please take me out of the situation and give me the mental strength to bear these. I do not want to lose myself. The things that I have learned from my gurus, my mom, my friends, I don't want to compromise on those things. You're not going to believe what happened. Within 15 days, I resigned from that workplace. I got a new job offer just within 15 days. So I had my learning here, a lot of learning. That universe, as I keep saying, and I'm gonna keep saying it, that works in a very mysterious way that we don't know. And our prayers are something that always works. At least in my scenario, it has always worked. And whatever I'm speaking from my point of view. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it says, like, it's better to fail in your own dharma than to succeed in dharma of others. That is something that you don't need to follow the crowd. You don't have to please everyone. Even your truth is difficult, it's still worth living it. And that every day is pausing, reflecting, identifying your values, what's more important for you. What's your strength? What's your kindness? What's your honesty, stillness? What's the most important thing for you? That's your priority. That's your values. And making those choices every day is like, irrespective of the chaos, I'm gonna choose to speak truth with kindness, that I do not hurt others, because that also our dharma. Any speech that's written in Bhagavad Gita, that any speech or any message that you're trying to pass on, it should not come from a point where you're trying to put others down. It should come from a point that you want to improve that situation, you want to improve the person that you are communicating your message. It should not come from the point of ego, like choosing peace over noise, choosing not to be part of game where everyone is trying to put each other's down, not choosing to be the part of any gossip, trusting the process. These are the things, that's our values, and we have to live by it. We do. So if anytime you feel lost, you should always come back to your inner compass. That's your guide. World will try to shake you now and then. As long as you're aligned and you live with alignment with Dharma, you are creating ripple of pieces, not just in your life, but in the world. And that matters. That's matter. Because we are not here to fit in, we are here to be true. Yes, ready to be cry, that's okay. Ready to be misunderstood, that is also okay. Be ready to stand alone, that is also okay. But whatever you do not betray your soul, because your soul deserves peace. Your soul deserves alignment with higher power. Your soul deserves to walk the path of Dharma in alignment with your truth. And that is what is important. So this is what today I wanted to talk about. I hope you will resonate with this. If yes, let me know in the comment section how do you feel about it, and if you like it, then like, comment and subscribe. Till we meet next time, be gentle with yourself, spread love and positivity, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and till we meet again here in Dreamweaver, keep living your dream. Bye bye, and I'll see you soon.